Welcome to Crossroads, a show by the Epoch-Times, one of America's largest independent newspapers that brings you insights beyond the headlines. Now, make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to our show. You get updates on when the next one is, and you get to join us every morning. Now, look, President Donald Trump has done something pretty major, something that could actually remake the entire country. Trump ordered a new census that does not count illegal immigrants. And this could change America as we know it, like massively. This move is expected to shift anywhere from, some say, as low as 20 to as many as 40 House seats from Democrats to Republicans. Because it just happens by coincidence that a lot of the illegal immigrants have been going to sanctuary cities, which tend to be more Democrat. And so, of course, people being counted there means they get more representation, they get more money from the government, and they might stop getting that. This could actually give a more accurate estimate as well on the amount of illegal immigrants in the entire country. President Donald Trump said this. He said, "I've instructed our Department of Commerce to immediately begin working on a new and highly accurate census based on modern-day facts and figures, and importantly, using the results and information gained from the presidential election of 2024. Not sure what he means there, but Trump won 2024, suggesting this is probably going to be in his favor. He said as well, people who are in our country illegally will not be counted in the census. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, that's going to be massive if he does it. There's some different takes, and I'll show you that in a sec. That's going to be massive. Effectively, we don't really know how many illegal immigrants are in the United States. Some say the number before Trump was about 11 million. Estimated about 10 million came in just under the Biden administration, putting it, I don't know, somewhere like 20, 21 million. Previous estimates put the number at like 10 million to like 20 million, even prior to Biden. Some said as many as 30 million. And if it's the high end of that, you could have 30, 40, who knows how many million illegal immigrants in the United States. Now, the issue is, aside from the whole concern that some of them may be voting in the elections, which has been a big thing raised by conservatives, Democrats would argue cases actually prosecuted that, yeah, there are some, but not enough to like flip an election. The thing that nobody could really argue with is that they're counted in the census, which does give areas that has more illegal immigrants more House seats. They get more government representation. Not only that, but they get money allocated from the federal government. They get a lot more money. So there's a price incentive, or money incentive. There's a political incentive. And some suggest that maybe that's a reason why you have sanctuary cities, why you have sanctuary states. It is politically advantageous to certain, frankly, the Democrats, to do that because, of course, it gives them more representation. It gives them more power. If Trump does this, it's going to strip away a lot of that power, potentially in a massive way. If they do this in addition to redistricting, which Texas is leading the charge in right now, not so much from the federal government, but Texas is trying to do it. If they do this in addition to redistricting, that's also expected to swing, different estimates. Some say 15, some say as many as 25 seats from Democrats to Republicans. These two moves will effectively solidify Republican control over Congress, at least over the House. Now, there's different takes, though, back to the census on whether Trump can actually do it. On the Democrat side, if you read a lot of the media, they're arguing this could be unconstitutional. And they're also arguing the ripple effects of this will be pretty massive. MSNBC said this. It's an opinion piece from a political science professor at the University of Florida. He said there were just two problems with that idea, Trump trying to redo the census. He said, one, it is unconstitutional, and it is logistically impossible. What's the basis of that? Here's what he says. He says the census of the U.S. population has many uses. Federal and state governments allocate money to communities based on their populations. And of course, if you have a population that's all illegal immigrants, they're getting money they might not be able to get if this happens. He notes that businesses use population forecasts to make decisions on where to expand. suggesting this could actually destroy businesses in areas where you have a lot of illegal immigrants. Also says law enforcement uses population counts to calculate crime rates and inform policing decisions, suggesting the police, in my opinion, that's not going to be a big deal because police can just refocus. Police are already stretched thin. That'll be great for law and order, but they're making that point. He also says this, though. Health officials use the data to calculate disease rates to know where outbreaks occur and to send help. And I think on the Trump side, they would love to see illegal immigrants not being able to use the medical system because a lot of them kind of game the emergency room system where they can't deny care and they just don't pay it. And also where Trump and Republicans overall are trying to make it so that illegal immigrants are not able to get taxpayer-funded medical care. For example, trying to pull them out of like Medicaid and stuff. Something that some states are trying to fight against. What Trump is doing would just throw a wrench into that whole system. Basically, the Democrats are arguing that doing this, Trump redoing the census, would require him to actually direct the Census Bureau to carry out what is a mid-decade census, which there will probably be legal challenges on that. You normally can't do that. The way Trump is justifying it is he says that there was essentially fraud that took place in the way the census was done because they counted non-U.S. citizens. And he's saying if we want to have a proper census done, because remember, he declared a national emergency with mass migration and everything else. He's declared that an emergency. He could take different measures to resolve that national emergency that he's declared. Also, there's the big question of how they're going to count non-citizens, right? Because effectively what they would have to do is ask people, are you a U.S. citizen? Si, senor. Yes, I am, or something like that. They would actually have to ask it. The question is, how would they prove it if people claim they are? And would people just say they aren't? Who knows? It would actually be up to the individual to tell the truth. But it also plays into Congress delegating budgets, how that would affect states. Effectively, this would remake the United States. This would have a massive, massive impact. If this census were to be done and not count illegal immigrants and non-citizens, we would wake up and live in a different country. This would have a sweeping effect. My personal take, basically this could alter the America that we know at both the federal and state levels. Is that a good thing? Well, I think so because we live in a representative democracy. Remember what a republic is. America is not direct democracy. We're not really a democracy. We're a republic. A republic is representative democracy, meaning we elect people to represent us in the political system. If you alter the people who are being represented, you alter the system of government. And I believe that our government has been altered in ways that do not represent the American people in many regards. And part of the reason it does not represent the American people in many regards is because they've tried representing everyone from everywhere. And if you do that to a large enough extent, well, you alter the culture of the country, you alter the politics of the country, you change where the money goes. The money doesn't even necessarily benefit the American people. Some have argued it's gone on like that for so long that has become actually what our country is. Is that America now? It has been. The Republicans are trying to change it. They're trying to make it so, no, there's a difference between a citizen and a non-citizen. Being an American actually means something. It's not like everybody can be one. And we do have a national identity. Trump is taking actions to bring us back in that direction. Now, it would also give us finally a clearer picture of how many illegal immigrants are in the country as well. And it would also very likely just massively alter state representation in Congress. Even everything else aside, the nature of having members of Congress only representing American citizens will also force them to change the kinds of policy they represent. Because if you have a politician who's elected in an area that is predominantly, illegal immigrants or non-citizens, it means they're representing non-citizens. And so the issues they'll have to bring to Congress would be the issues of their constituents. There's a lot of them, frankly. If they were to change that, my old neighborhood in Jackson Heights, Queens, that's AOC's district, Ocasio-Cortez. It could make people like her, for example, have to look at different policies if they're no longer representing, the population of their communities, which if you go to that area, it was mostly illegal immigrants, at least where I lived. On this point as well, it could also paint sanctuary cities in a very bad light. Sanctuary cities, sanctuary states, given it would show how many illegal immigrants have actually been there, and it would also it would paint them as a tool to get basically federal cash and federal representation. I don't know if they'll ever try that as a crime, but they could argue if someone was doing that intentionally, then the act of doing it was an act of defrauding the American people. It also raises the big question as well of what Trump has been claiming, that this may have actually been part of a intent of mass illegal immigration and of policies to count non-citizens in the census to swing the elections. Trump is publicly referring to this as a type of fraud. He's referring to this as a type of interference in the elections. And he's alleging, which is the basis on which he's doing this, a mid-decade census, he's alleging that this was an act of defrauding the American people and of interfering with our elections, which is the basis on which he's having this redone. In other news, though, large-scale protests are erupting in China. In fact, in many parts of China, people are calling for an end of the Chinese Communist Party. Here's more on this from NTD's China in Focus. Watch.
A small city in southern China's Sichuan province, Jiangyu, has become the focus of public attention in recent days. Mass protests triggered by social injustice have lasted about a week. Authorities have deployed special police forces to crack down on the crowds. Chants the regime fears most, down with the Chinese Communist Party, have also been heard on the streets. And a reminder, some viewers may find the following footage disturbing. NTD's Flora Hua brings us the story.
Early Tuesday in Jiangyu, screams, police sirens, and angry protesters shouting filled the city's streets. Following the protesters' chants, local reports say police fired tear gas and flashbang grenades into the crowds. The protests have continued day and night. Numerous videos show police officers provoking protesters. Those beaten by police ranged in age, from college students to senior citizens. Some of those approaching the crowds appeared aggressive. They're the local police SWAT team. Bystanders recorded some demonstrators being arrested and loaded into cages on a truck, typically used to transport pigs, a move seen as deeply humiliating those detained. This has sparked widespread online criticism condemning the local authorities. The protests have now spread hundreds of miles away to Kunming. On Thursday, a man was seen outside a tourist site holding a banner that read, "Step down, Xi Jinping." So what sparked these mass protests? A video recently went viral online showing several teenage girls bullying another girl, bragging that they face no consequences from law enforcement. Local authorities say the bullies have been punished, but Chinese media reports see otherwise. That has sparked anger among many local residents. They're now demanding proper punishment for the bullies. Flora Hua, NTD News.
Now, this is actually a big deal, and it's a big deal for several reasons. One, it's not isolated. This isn't like a local protest happening in one part of the country. In China, you actually do have a lot of mass protests. They often don't get any news coverage. One of the reasons being that people just can't get the videos out. Epoch Times, especially our Chinese edition, we're blacklisted in China. But of course, we do distribute there, and people use ways of getting around the firewall. We get information on large-scale protests happening pretty regularly. The issue is a lot of them are not connected, right? They're kind of sporadic. Worker protest here, factory here having an issue. Maybe in this place, a CCP official, rapes someone's daughter and the village rises up against him. It's stuff like that. It's all kind of sporadic and random, though. This is a big deal because it's coordinated. It's all being kind of sparked by the same issue, meaning a unified national protest in China. And the problem the CCP is going to face is if this continues to spread Now, the powder keg of this, the thing that set it all off, it was a viral video of a schoolgirl being beaten by another young girl, and the girls are like, "We won't face punishment." Now, why is that such a big deal? It's because oftentimes it's actually kind of common in China, this kind of like group bullying. You'll get not just girls, boys and girls. They'll oftentimes find one girl. I don't know why they more so choose girls to do it to. They'll strip the girl naked. They'll beat her. They'll kick her. The boys will like kick her in the head, and I mean it's horrible stuff. It happens a lot. I don't show you videos of it because I just don't see a value in it. But the issue is, and the issue a lot of Chinese people have, is the kids who are beating, oftentimes as young girls, they're oftentimes the sons and daughters of Chinese Communist Party officials, right? They're what you call princelings. And so the reason they're saying we won't face punishment is because of the favoritism system of the Chinese Communist Party. These are Communist Party faction members, right? It's the children of CCP members. And what they're saying is basically, we live under a different system of law than you do. You peasants, we can do whatever we want to you. We can beat you. We can rape you. We can kill you. And they're saying there's nothing you can do about it. Just take it. We can record it. We can post it on the internet, and nothing's going to happen. And so when people are protesting against it, they're not protesting saying, hey, make these kids face justice. They're protesting saying the Chinese Communist Party is what is doing this. They see the Chinese Communist Party as the factor behind these kids believing they can do this and not face any kind of repercussions. And so when they're protesting against this, by extension, this is a protest against the CCP itself. This, the communist society, the classless society, which is ironically the most classist society you can possibly have, where you have the the Communist Party members and like everybody else. The Communist Party members can use everybody else in whatever way they want, and they have no voice. And that is the way every communist country has ever been whenever they take power. The whole nature of equality is always like, well, right, what is the saying from Animal Farm? All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. And the CCP believes it is more equal than others. They can do whatever they want to anybody else and face no punishment for it. This protest you see happening right now is a protest against the CCP itself. It's a protest against that system of the CCP. And I would say also, again, stuff like this happens all the time. There are very regularly videos like that being spread around the Chinese internet. My point with saying that is the protests you see happening right now are not spurred on by one incident. It has been a buildup of incidents like that, and it has now erupted. Meaning, it wasn't like people saw that video and got mad about that video. They see videos like that all the time. It's that they're fed up with the CCP because they've seen it so much. They've seen it so much, and they're tired of the CCP. This, combined with the economic problems, combined with the political infighting, combined with Xi Jinping losing military power, all of this risks, frankly, the basic survival of the CCP. We could be watching the start of the end of the CCP right now, but we'll see. That said, please do not forget to like this video. It really does help on the algorithm, actually. And let me know what you think of the show in the comments as well. That said, join me again tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Until then, thank you so much for being here. Please take care of yourselves, stay informed, and stay free. Thank you.